Nicolás Maduro has been declared the winner of the Venezuelan presidential election. The announcement came after a 6-hour delay, raising eyebrows. Maduro's victory extends socialist rule in Venezuela to a quarter century. The news was met with mixed reactions, celebration from supporters and condemnation from critics. Maduro's win, with 51.21% of the votes, puts him ahead of his opponent. The opposition and independent observers have challenged the results, alleging irregularities. The country has been grappling with a multifaceted crisis for years. Maduro's victory amidst allegations of manipulation deepens the political divide. The opposition, led by figures like Maria Corina Machado, has categorically rejected the election results. They allege the election was neither free nor fair, further deepening the political chasm in Venezuela. The opposition's claims of irregularities and a lack of transparency have resonated with many international observers. Opposition leaders have called for a recount, demanding that the voice of the Venezuelan people be heard and respected. They argue the announced results do not reflect the actual vote. This stance has garnered support from various international actors, further escalating the tension surrounding the election. The opposition's rejection of the results throws Venezuela into further political uncertainty. The country, already grappling with a complex crisis, now faces a standoff between the government and the opposition. This situation raises serious concerns about the future of democracy in Venezuela. International pressure is mounting on Maduro's government to address the concerns raised about the election. However, the government has remained defiant, dismissing the criticism as foreign interference and accusing the opposition of trying to destabilize the nation. Independent observers have expressed grave concerns about the fairness of the election. They point to a lack of transparency and multiple irregularities throughout the process. These concerns cast a long shadow over the results, fueling doubts about the legitimacy of Maduro's victory. Critics of the election highlight several worrying signs. These include allegations of voter suppression, intimidation tactics employed against opposition voters, and manipulation of the electoral system in favor of the incumbent government. All these issues, they argue, point to a systematic erosion of democratic norms in Venezuela. The international community is closely monitoring the situation in Venezuela. Many countries and organizations are considering their response to the election and its implications for the future of the South American nation. The legitimacy of the election is being questioned on a global stage. The concerns raised about the electoral process are not merely procedural, they strike at the heart of what constitutes a free and fair election. Without a transparent and credible electoral process, the very foundations of democracy are undermined, further eroding public trust in the country's institutions. Section 4. A crushing blow to the opposition. The election results have dealt a significant blow to Venezuela's opposition. They had united behind González, hoping to end Maduro's long reign. The opposition aimed to capitalize on widespread dissatisfaction. González, a seasoned diplomat, emerged as a beacon of hope. However, the election results have extinguished that flicker, leaving the opposition demoralized. With Maduro tightening his grip on power, the road ahead for the opposition seems arduous. Maduro's campaign, a promise of continuity. Maduro emphasized Chávez's legacy, vowing to continue his socialist policies. This strategy aimed to galvanize Chávez's supporters. He promised economic recovery and defended Venezuela's sovereignty. In his victory speech, Maduro dedicated his win to Chávez. Critics argue his speech ignored concerns about the election process. Section 6. The world reacts, a divided international response. The international community's reaction to the election results has been divided. Some countries, mainly allies of the Maduro government, have congratulated him on his victory. Others, however, have condemned the election, citing a lack of transparency and fairness. The United States, along with several European and Latin American nations, has voiced strong criticism of the election. They have called for a thorough and independent investigation into the electoral process, hinting at potential sanctions or diplomatic actions against Venezuela. This divided international response reflects the deep polarization surrounding the situation in Venezuela. While some countries continue to recognize Maduro as the legitimate leader, others view him as an autocrat who has undermined democracy. This diplomatic tug-of-war further complicates the Venezuelan crisis. The Venezuelan government has dismissed the international criticism as foreign meddling. They accuse their opponents of colluding with foreign powers to destabilize the country and undermine its sovereignty. This narrative of external threats and internal enemies has become a recurring theme for the Maduro government. Section 7. The future of Venezuelan democracy, a country at a crossroads. The Venezuelan presidential election has left the country at a crossroads. Maduro's controversial victory, amidst widespread allegations of electoral misconduct, has deepened the political divide and cast a long shadow over the future of Venezuelan democracy. The opposition's rejection of the results, coupled with the international community's concerns, creates a complex and volatile situation. The path ahead for Venezuela remains uncertain, with the potential for further instability and unrest looming large. The international community has a crucial role to play in the coming months and years. Maintaining pressure on the Maduro government to address the democratic deficit, while also supporting the Venezuelan people's aspirations for a better future, will be paramount. The future of Venezuelan democracy hangs in the balance. The outcome of this struggle will have profound implications not only for Venezuela, but also for the region as a whole. The world will be watching closely as this South American nation navigates its way through these treacherous waters.